Hello and welcome back to more lore and loot Morrowind. We're here, as usual, in the Sadrithmore Council Chambers looking for chores. That's right, the life of a low-level House Telvanni member is full of tedious work. We're here with Felisa Ulesson, and we're going to see what she has cooked up for us today. Hopefully nothing too crazy, but nothing will surprise me considering who her boss is. She'll tell us that Mistress Tharana is concerned about a slave rebellion in one of her holdings. And asking for a little more info, Felisa will tell us that we need to go to the Abebaal egg mine near Tel Brenora and put down the rebellion before it spreads like the disease that it is. This will trigger the quest Slave Rebellion. Now, Abebaal egg mine is actually really easy to get to, and we shouldn't have much trouble getting there. We'll need to travel to Tel Brenora, and the easiest way to do so is by boat, of course. Once we reach the small settlement, we'll travel north a spell until we can cross the water to a small island to the west/northwest of Tel Brenora. Once on the small island, we can travel to the north end of the island and find the door. Now, there are two ways to resolve this quest, and we're going to be looking at both of them as they net you different rewards. You'll receive the same reputation boost either way, but your actual reward will differ. The first way you can resolve this quest is by freeing the slaves. The second way is by putting down the rebellion by more violent means. As is the case with all egg mines, the miners themselves are recognized by the Kwama, so they don't get bothered. However, our scent is new, and so Kwama foragers and warriors will attack us on sight, so we need to be prepared. Speaking with the first slave we come across, Scene Ray, we can ask her about the rebellion, but she only tells us to go speak with their leader, Elidal Lay. We'll see the Argonian leader of the rebellion here, next to this wooden platform. And here is where our path will diverge into two. First, we'll ask him what the deal is. Tell us about this rebellion you're leading. Well, he resigns himself to death, but let's not be so hasty. Why don't you tell me what's going on, and maybe we can come to a peaceful solution. Listening to their grievances, we found out that basically, Tharana is crazy, and we already knew this. She demands more and more eggs, even when the mine is empty. The last straw was when Elidal Lay himself went to deliver some eggs and found out Tharana is only decorating her home with the eggs even after they rot. She isn't even eating them. Again, we knew this, but do go on. He will then tell us that while he was a sorcerer in his homeland of Black Marsh, the slave bracers prevent him from casting magicka, and therefore prevent him from escaping. If he were to get the key and remove his bracers, he would be able to take his fellows to safety. We will agree to help him. He is incredulous, but that's fair enough. There are 3 keys you can find to release the slaves. 2 of them are in Tel Brenora, in the Sorcerer's Tower. However, there is one right here in the mine, though the slaves have not been able to find it. We'll just have to explore a little bit deeper into the mine and see if we can't find it ourselves. Up ahead, we do meet with another forager, but much more dangerous, we encounter a Kwama warrior. Thankfully, we are able to dispatch it without much issue. Up ahead, in a crate next to the Kwama Queen, we find the key. This wasn't really particularly well hidden, but whatever. I'm sure they looked for it real good. Anyways, we can release Elidal Lay from his bracers, and with that, he will free the rest of the slaves and make an escape. Returning to Felissa and speaking to her about the rebellion, we will have to tell her the bad news that the slaves ran away. She doesn't seem too disappointed and will actually offer to teach us 2 spells in order to better control our slaves if we are ever put in a position where we have slaves to command. The Command Humanoid and Command Creature spells are the reward, and they are trash. Command Creature allows you to command a creature up to level 5 for 30 seconds on target, and the Command Humanoid spell is the same, but for a humanoid. There is never a situation that I can think of where either of these spells will be useful, and besides, our conjuration skill isn't even high enough to cast them. Instead, let's go back and take a look at the objectively better rewards. Having freed the slaves if you are so inclined is nice. However, Kaladolf is not only a member of House Telvanni, so he doesn't care much about slavery. He is also a high elf, so he doesn't much care about slavery times 2. Slaves are slaves, and in Morrowind, slavery is legal, and if these guys aren't working well, they need to get to work. We can find Elidal Lay in the same place as before, and again, we can ask him about the rebellion. Listen, guy, there's no need for violence. Why don't you folks just get back to work? Let bygones be bygones. No one has to get... Oh, okay. Well, merely suggesting they get back to work will instantly make every slave in the mine hostile, and you will be accosted by them all. Now here's where a nice area of effect destruction pill comes in handy. With just a few castings of Greater Frostball, we slay the disagreeable slaves. Heading back to Sadrith Mora, we can now tell Felissa the good news, that the rebellion was squashed. As stated earlier, our reputation with the faction and our disposition increase will be the same. However, this time we get a much more better reward. We will receive the rings of Firestorm and of Toxic Cloud. The Ring of Firestorm is a common ring that casts fire damage 1 to 50 points for 10 seconds and 20 feet on touch. That's quite the range of damage, but it can be pretty powerful if it hits right. The Ring of Toxic Cloud is also a common ring, and this one casts poison 2 to 60 points for 10 seconds on 20 feet on touch. This ring can be devastating if it hits right, and can kill some higher level Daedra in one hit. I wish games did this more often. Give you an obviously morally correct choice, but have that choice lead to a lesser reward, and a morally wrong choice, but have that benefit your character more. It makes the choice actually have more weight. as opposed to just the good choice being better or having both choices reward you equally. Anyway, that's the full story of the House Telvanni Quest Slave Rebellion. Be sure to leave a comment down below and give the video a like, or else I will cast Command Humanoid on you and make you leave it a like. As always, thank you for joining me for this episode of Lore and Loot. I will see you guys next time.